Yes, the elephant in the room is the lighting in my kitchen sucks, but I'm gonna cook and tell you a quick story if I can find everything I need. How did I get to this point, this version of me? I'll tell you. In one of the other videos, I said the only place that I have ever been any kind of anxious was church, and all the fear mongering that comes with church. I just never felt comfortable. So when I was old enough to make my own choices, I didn't go. I have my friends critiquing me, Andre, you're gonna go to hell, blah, blah, blah. And I literally had someone tell me that they can kill someone, ask for forgiveness, and then they will go to heaven. I was like, that doesn't make sense, but okay, if your preacher told you that, then preach on, brother. But I don't buy it 1 second. So I never went to church, not that often. I did go. I was supposed to be raised Catholic, just never made it, if that makes sense. I was baptized Catholic as a baby, but I've always known that there was more to this because I've always identified with being a Leo, at least the classic version. I'm seasoning my meat. That sounds weird. I've always identified with Buddhism. My grandmother had a happy Buddha on her table. The Buddha with the belly. You rub the Buddha belly and it brings good luck. And that kind of started that part of my life. It was then, I was probably 3 or 4 years old. I got into attempting to learn how to meditate, and I just found that sitting in silence was really something I enjoyed doing. But again, teenage years, career, all that shit just kind of gets in the way. So fast forward, I thought about getting back into organized religion because, why not? There should be more to life than just trading and raising kids and all that other stuff. And again, meditate, pray on it, whatever you want to call it. Gotta wash this shit off my hands. And so I'm debating on my path. And we had just got this Buddha statue that's in the back behind my couch, essentially. And we got some shit for it because, it's not Jesus and all that other stuff. But I was meditating one day and asked for a sign, asked for the path that's correct for me. And I kid you not, a day before Easter, as I'm meditating, I hear a little voice that says, investigate the East Star, the sun. Hold on 1 second. Had to get some butter. Now that's where I started researching about things like astrotheology and what was the history of the quote unquote gods. And I come to my own conclusions about that. And with that, I believe that God is indeed real. It's probably just not what we're taught in church. So fast forward, I started researching, okay, East Star. And then it clicked. It's like, oh, Easter. Is it the sun that we're celebrating? And then you come to find out that the real new point of the year is Easter and all this other stuff, right? We just changed everything around. Not that there's not value in the business model or the calendar that we're on, but what made more sense to me was astrotheology. Now, I'm not saying we're not going to go there. So fast forward a little bit more. I'm digging it because it is what makes the most sense. And all these little inclinations kept coming up into, my subconscious, my mind, my energy field, whatever the hell you want to call it, kids. And I officially say I'm not religious. I officially don't believe that hell's a real place. But again, I think it's here. I think we create heaven and hell here. And then I saw a miraculous healing using magnets, not pills, not a traditional therapist, but magnets. And it blew me away. So there's something to this. And when you see magnet therapy, the practitioner places the magnets on your chakras, your energy centers. Okay, so then there's something to this. And the fact that I used to be completely blind in my left eye and regained vision from it through magnet therapy was enough for me to start to believe and see that there was more to us and more to what they tell us that we are or we are not. And then you come across people that can basically medically heal you just by touching points on your body, right? And tell you what the body needs, how it needs. It's called applied kinesiology. Just amazing things that are out there. And I meet a very near and dear friend who lives in Oregon, and he became such a pillar in my spiritual growth and spiritual development. And then here's the kicker. This guy comes into my trading group, and it was the coolest conversation, well, one of the coolest conversations I've ever had. He says, Andre, you know something that I need to know. And I'm like, okay, what do I know that you need to know? And I remember this, it was a Saturday, and before I take people onto my one-on-one mentoring, I have a Zoom meeting with them. Because you got to get to know me, I got to get to know you. We may or may not like each other. And I liked this guy. And then he said, do you want to know the truth about how I found you? And I said, yeah, tell me the truth about how you found me. He said, I heard you on a podcast, and then I checked your karma. Had no clue you can do that. And you're a decent human, and I don't want to pat myself on the back. And he said that the energy or something of that effect, you know something that I need to know that could help me improve my trading. And he came onto the group. We texted for a single day, and I never heard from him again. I know he was battling something. He lived in Chicago, and he was getting ready to move, I believe, to Texas. But he was very, very spiritually inclined. So, last story about my spiritual development, and then I'll cut this out. One of my students, Danny, who's grown to be a really, really good friend, he offered a theta healing session with his wife, Megan. And I was initially nervous and scared, but I jumped at it because I was at a point in my life where I'm trying to become better, do better, be better in all areas of my life. So we get on this session through Zoom, and she literally reads me like a book. Told me about my childhood trauma. That was the very first thing that was blocking me from becoming the person who I wanted to become. And then heals it, right? And then replaces the beliefs with beliefs that are more aligned with who you should be and who you want to be. You have a choice to whether you want that belief in you or not. Fast forward a few more sessions, I did a past life regression with her. That was the major breakthrough in why I'm actually talking to a camera now, because I realized that my voice has value and it's part of the mission of me being here. And then I got into pendulum dowsing, and I've learned how to read the body through the arm as well, apply kinesiology. So I taught it to myself. But that is the boring story about my spiritual growth. If you want me to go into more depth, I can do that. Just leave a comment in the video below and I'll go in depth. I don't mind. I'm actually thinking about asking Megan to do a live theta healing session on me, so you guys can see how painless it is and how gentle the spiritual healing that she does is. If you want to see that, drop a comment. So I'm going to finish cooking dinner. I'm making pepper steak, kind of like Asian style pepper steak, rice. So yeah, give this video a like, comment, share, and I appreciate the support. Cheers.